Hello everybody and welcome back to this house SketchUp tutorial. Today I'd like to show you something where I finish off some of these windows here, and it's gonna really make the house look very nice. Right above here I intend to put some circle head windows above all these portals, each of them. And they will be going through these layer division points. As you see in the video very well this line? I think you can. So I'm going to do that today, because I remember last time I did these windows here and then made this door, which looks very nice, by the way. Well, I think so. Alright, let's get started. Okay, let's see what layers I'm on. Always start with your layer orientation. Alright, as you can see here, these windows, these are components as I understand. So I'm going to take one of them, right, make a copy of it. I just hit the control key, hover it, and then control key, and then click and drag. So then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a circle head directly above this. And it won't open. It won't be an opening. So I'm just going to go in and edit it as so. Now what you know is, but from an arch window, it's like this. And then it has lattice, you know. However, I used to always do it like this and then offset it inward, but now I've actually come up with something that's even better. So I'm actually going to go from the innermost arch, because there are going to be two arches here. This inner arch and then this outer arch. So I'm going to go in through here. And make sure you see on the inside of this middle point here. Then I'm going to make it a group, because I always use groups and components so then things, while in construction, so then things don't get in my way. So I make that as a group, and then I edit group so then I don't mess things up, because in SketchUp there's a lot of things you can totally mess up. I mean, it's easy to fix, but best you do it right the first time, right? I always say, because and usually you want to make it a lot higher than what you want it to be, some higher than what you want to be, so you can just cut it off later. And we'll bring that group over to the edge, center to center. That's in the center. Then I edit it again. I take my arc tool up at the top, edge to edge. Then you see, I make mine half circle, and then I click. Then I'm going to actually extend this down a little bit here, and you'll see why in just a second. Then I cut that off, then I make that as one plane. As you can see, don't do that actually. Don't move it. I'm just moving it to show you what I mean, because you see, there's no line there. So then I go back to my offset tool, go onto this new shape, then I go out 1 inch, or however thick your lattice is, and then you see that, right? Then I go back into the shape, then I go out to the edge of this glass part of the window here. So you can actually see it going around. Like half a disc. Then one last time. Only then there's just the outer frame of the window. Then from there you can just cut it off where the window cuts off. Now this is my method of doing it, because if you see now, there's nothing that's actually more perfect than that, to be honest with you. And how I actually was able to do that was because I started with the innermost arc, then went out, and then went out more, and then the rest of the window. So that's how you know, I mean, it's complete and it's perfect. I know there'll be a little bit of a straight line here and here, but you won't notice. I guarantee you won't notice that when the model's done. Or when the windows are done. I mean, that's what I should say. Alrighty then. And then you just color it like how the window frame is colored. Then bring that up. Remember what I said about this little line here? You're not going to know, when we're done here, you're not going to notice it. Then from the back of the window, draw a line, and that just closes the plane. Right click, Control key, then move it to the center like the rest of the glasses, and then erase the back plane. And then you'll just take this plane, right, select, and then you'll move it back to that plane. Here we are. Then just color it the way it's supposed to be, however you like. And then I'm going to make it 3-prong. Yeah, 3 triple prong. Middle, the central prong. Then I'm going to go in that much. Yeah. And I'm going to do it again on the other side to make sure it's perfectly symmetrical. You know, I'm actually not liking that just because of this little thing here. So my alternative to that is actually making a line legitimately going like from corner to corner. And you can do that here too. Because there's still a little bit of a bump here. And that's actually to be expected because of the method I used. But I mean, like I said, you know, I mean, these are only construction lines. Dadgummit, man. I don't like that. Yeah, okay, now that's right. It's just that sometimes the pink line can throw you off a little bit. Gets annoying. But I mean, you know, in terms of like annoyances and stuff, it depends on your degree of modeling, you know. How much do you want to get into it? Do you want to give it that completed look, or are you good with sort of a not so complete look, or an approximate look? Usually that kind of guy that actually just likes to take the whole shebang. So there we go. Now we can assure that that is right. So what I'll do here is I'll make sure half of my lattice, so assuming that my lattice is only 1 inch, I make half an inch. And then half an inch down that away. And I always make my lines longer so I can just trim them off later. That's how people draw in AutoCAD most of the time, actually. A lot of the times is what I learned. And then you just do the same for the other. Looks like a little T. But again, just construction lines. We'll erase that. And then the top part is actually the easiest because it is straight up and down, not at an angle. At an angle, you have to rely on the pink lines. But make sure whenever your lines are pink, though, because that means they're parallel or perpendicular. Alright, so then that's our window. As you can see. And don't worry, this is all going to be hidden, gone, that sort of thing. These extra lines here. But right now, we don't want that at the moment. As you can see, because these are components, these are embedded into the wall. Just let me see what notice how it fits perfectly. Give me a moment. Alright. Let me see if I back these up a little bit. I did that. I did that. That's good. Alright, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Alright. Actually, I don't want to do that. Temporarily take away this wall here, so then you can go and edit the component from there so you can see what you're doing. Now, because this is actually inside the wall, what we're going to do is we're going to take this and extrude it out of the wall. How we start off doing that is we'll edit this group that we made. We will erase these side edges. Then we will go and now when I do this, I want to go higher than the actual window itself. And these are only construction lines, so don't worry about it right now. And see this as a rectangle and just use your push-pull tool. And go to the outer wall. Then do the same for the inner wall. Bring that in. Now the reason why I said higher than the window itself is because don't you see how nice and clean this is without a line bothering me? That's because I went higher. Instead, if I went exactly the window height, there would be a line here. And it would just be grief to deal with. And I don't want that. Alright, so now we got the window arches. first time doing this on this kind of house. Then right here I'll just redraw that, making sure I'm on the roof layer to do that. Alright, so then now when I take the roof off, notice how these pieces are sticking out. We don't want that. We actually want it where it's actually flat with the wall. But we still want these windows here. So what we're going to do is we are going to edit component here, edit group here, take a rectangle, then right click on the rectangle, intersect faces with model. So then this will be our divider. These will be our dividers. Right? What else we want to do is take this, right click. No, actually we don't have to do that. We'll take our guide window and then right click, make unique. Why? It's because what we're going to do is what we're going to do with these components is what we're going to do is we're going to make sure you're in the group. We're going to do that. On the contrary, on this one, we're going to edit component. We are going to get rid of it. We're going to get rid of whatever's on the bottom. And if you're wondering about these lines going through them, we're going to get rid of those lines by hiding them. We're going to hide them, not erase them. All that. And then whenever you're getting rid of your lines, make sure all the lines below are gone. Because I guarantee you those will be in your way and it will be hectic. I just exploded that what you call it, group away. So then that's just a component. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually place this group on top of what we cut off here. And then go on, select them both, right click, entity, info, move them to your roof layer. Alright, we're going to copy. Edit component, then explode this group because we don't need the group anymore. We'll erase these lines here because they're ugly as can be. And you know, for the heck of it, we're going to get rid of these edges on the windows too. That's actually another reason why my file sizes are so small, is because I actually clean out the model, clean out what I actually don't need in the model. Because for every plane you have, the more space it takes. I mean, common sense tells you that. We're going to go back. No, actually, we're going to edit this this guide component. You see this line here, where this beam here? we are going to, that's it, our extent. We're going to go down. And something, you have to get close. The reason being is because you see it went down to here. Because here, that's where you see a gap. We're going to get rid of this component. We're going to explode this component soon. It's going to be a hassle to try to draw that back in. If we didn't do this before explosion of the component. When you want to do windows like this, especially if you are doing translayer, it's a long process, so that's why this is taking a while. If you don't want to see it, you can actually skip this video and go on to the next video. Because, I mean, not all houses are going to have these kinds of windows. I just decided to put them in just because they look nice. And as you can see, you cut them out. And then draw another line on the bottom here. Then cut them out. We will do similar to the roof component, but make sure you're on roof layer. Notice how it erased up. Easily fixed. Not as easy as I thought, sorry. Oh, no wonder why it won't. No wonder why it won't. I didn't explode these. Because I'm supposed to. There we are. Now we can redraw. Now the same goes for the interior. Only this time, because we exploded them, we just have to erase like that. Alright, so then what we're going to do is we're going to hide these lines that are inside the circle head windows. The reason why they call them circle head windows is because it's just because they're half a circle and they're above. Now what I want to do is I also want to put a window above this door. I mean, that definitely will give it a nice accent. So I want to decorate the front door a little bit. Not that I haven't already. Okay, I'm going to have to elongate this a little bit. A few inches, perhaps. No. Because that was too thin to be a wall itself, so. Because whenever I put that in there, I was actually still playing with it. So, I'm done playing. So that's the front door. To analyze it. Alright, we'll bring this out a little more. I can get rid of this. Now the window above the door is going to be a little bit higher than both of these windows here. Just because, oh yeah. Give me a minute, I'm working on it. Or what I could do is I could lower this 2 inches So then it would be the exact height. Yeah, I think I'll do that instead because that will actually look better. All three of them being in harmony, perfect harmony. And what I can use is the existing windows here, so then to just make a copy there. I think I'm going to do that. This door is already above the 6'8" height anyway. You know what, why not? Just select the top, come down a little bit, a few inches, however long it is. I'll bring mine down to this level here. Oh yeah, this is going to be great. And then I bring that down there. Alright. Window components. No, not yet. We won't do that yet. What we're going to do is we're going to put a frame around this door. 2 inches. Alright, so then now we got something for our window to sit on. So then I'll go into Window, Components. First let me see, Layers. On the right layer, make sure I'm always in the right layer. And when I'm done with this video, I will tell you why it's good to be in the right layer. Because layer transfer doesn't work very well whenever working with curved surfaces. No layers. Components, sorry. In model. To go all the way. No, I'm going to use this, so I'll put that there for now. I'm going to use this too, because I'm going to use the window because I don't want to have to redraw them again. That's a big pain, actually, especially for windows this difficult. So I'm going to actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to explode this. And then I'm going to cut it off where it's just the window. And then just select all that I don't want. This time you can use the dotted rectangle in selection. Then I'll use put a ledge here, ledge there. And I will also bear in mind that this wall here isn't as thick because there's no brick. So I'm going to bring this in a little bit. What I'll do here is I'll just bring this in a couple inches. Like 2. I'll keep that ledge there. Take my piece. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to make a guideline above the door. Then that will be sure to erase all your guidelines when you're done, because your thing looks very sloppy if you forget that. People do, and sometimes I even forget, so just a heads up. And then what we're going to do here is we're actually going to right click entity info on this roof. Then we're going to go directly into the roof layer. Take the end. And click Edit Component. I'm going to bring this into the flush with the wall. Then erase. Then explode your component. This way you can just erase that line there. And then probably the next thing you're hankering to do is get rid of all of those lines. But we don't want to get rid of them, we actually just want to hide them. Turns out most of them turned out to be on the roof layer, so we will be on the roof layer. Make sure you're in the front view, camera, parallel projection, as you can see. There's no perspective. This makes selection easier actually, and then make sure it's front view. And when you go into selection, you got to be very careful because you have the house behind it. And what we're going to do is we are going to make sure it is not the dotted rectangle, but the solid rectangle. Actually, what is going to be hard is because of these little tiny areas here. So I guess I'm going to do that first. And make sure right click hide. Now if you're wondering about that line behind it, that is actually the line for the ceiling. That's the ceiling line behind in the kitchen. Because you see the other lines going away. Not going away, they're just hidden. Another problem is hiding more than what you have to. It's because the thing is you don't want to hide lines that you don't want to hide. Like where the wall and the ceilings meet, or where wall meets wall. That's why you got to be careful doing this. Because it'll be a pain to go back and have to redraw the lines. Now, in another video, I will clean these up because I'm going to go back in and probably the next video will actually be the porch. And that will also include cleaning all of this up here. But for now, what you see are these windows. And they're all the same height, which is great. And yeah. So I'm just going back through and making sure everything is right. Making sure that I didn't accidentally hide what I didn't need to hide, or that I wasn't supposed to hide. Which everything looks good. And there you have it. You have front windows, you have circle. Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to show you why it was good to do the process that I did. because yeah, this is useful, because I will show you why. Now go to Window, Components. Alright, so I have grouped this component here. Now don't worry, I won't save this progress here. I'll just undo this. Alright, say for example, you want something, so I explode it, right? And it's not on the layer I want, and this is a curved surface. You can do this with straight surfaces, but this is a curved surface. So I'm just going to do. And this is how before I learned. Into the info, roof. Now look at what you see here. You see these lines? As I move back and forth. I mean, this is on the roof layer. No kidding, but when roof layer isn't on, because what you're actually seeing are the edges of the arc. You're seeing these ends here, these edges, corners, or what you call them. Because as you can see, you see how it's seamless here in view, but when you change your view, see the black? That's what you're seeing. Because you can take the roof layer off, and you don't want that. That's just plain crappy. Alright, so because make sure as a component, you know, it's got to be as a component, and then while it's still a component, then you transfer your layer, roof. And then from there you can go back, go onto the roof layer, and then explode it. So then, check it out, you don't have that problem. So that's what I did there. Alright, so then, that's it. So what you have are these windows. Alright everybody, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. If you did enjoy it, please rate, comment, subscribe. There will be a lot more to come. Though I know I'm almost done with this house, that this won't stop there. There'll be other things I'll be taking video of that you might like. So please stay tuned. Alright everybody, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next video. Alright, bye-bye.